All right, so let's start with Beckett Grading, which is also known as BGS. They are running a special right now. It's their collector special for $18 a card, $16 without subgrades. I don't see why you would not get the subgrades if you're submitting to them. But anyways, the collector special and their base service of $22 a card are both 60 plus business days, and their standard service is $40 a card with $30 without subgrades. Their priority, next day, and immediate, you can see the pricing there, and their turnaround times get a lot quicker for that price. So let's take a look at BGS as a company overall. Some of the positives first. If you grade with them and you get a pristine 10 or a black label, you're going to get the best return on investment of pretty much any card out there. Their slabs are very durable. You could drop them and it probably won't crack. And they're nice, and they feel nice and thick in your hand. Another positive is that they do offer subgrades. It does give some transparency when it comes to, questioning why you received a grade. Sometimes it's confusing when you get a card back and it's an 8 or something, and you don't know why it was an 8 and you thought it looked really good. Some of the negatives are the brand is definitely on the decline. They're getting taken over by some of the newer companies. Their values are going down, and I think that it's just part because their label is just kind of old and tired out, and maybe they need to do something different. Their communication is not very good. If you submit with them and it's been a long time and you've seen no movement, you're probably not going to get an email back or any kind of correspondence from them. And then another negative is their Gem Mint 9.5 is worth a lot less than like a PSA 10, which is also considered Gem Mint. Their prices are substantially less, even though technically they're both considered Gem Mint cards. BGS started grading cards back in 1995, and they were definitely the leader when it came to return on investment. Over time, PSA took over that top spot and has not looked back since then. Now let's look at PSA. Their first two options are for Collector Club exclusive members. It's $99 a year. If you're grading a substantial amount of cards, it's definitely worth it. The $15 option is for trading card games or TCG cards. It's $15 a card, and there's a minimum of, I believe, 10 cards to use that option. Turnaround time is roughly 65 days. For sports cards, it's $19 a card, and the card must be worth $499 or less after being graded. Turnaround time for that is 65 days. For a normal submission, it's $25 a card. There is no membership fee required for this service. The maximum declared value after being graded is $499. So that's $25 a card with no minimum amount of cards to grade, and $40 a card for the Value Plus. Your turnaround time is right around 20 days, business days. The regular service is $75 a card, and the turnaround time is 10 days. I recently submitted with them, and it definitely came back quickly. The maximum declared value is $1,500 or less. They're Express and Super Express, and they have higher levels of services, and it's basically all of them come back really fast. It's just based on the value of the card after it's graded. PSA is definitely the industry leader when it comes to resale values. They're a very well-established company. They've been grading since 1991. They have a great population report, and it's pretty much the industry standard when it comes to finding a price and a population for a card. Some of the negatives are they have a tiered pricing program, so they have that maximum declared value, and if it goes over that, then you can get upcharged for your cards, and it can get really pricey. So a lot of times people will opt to grade with BGS or other companies when it comes to the high-end cards, and you'll notice a lot of really high-end cards will be graded with BGS for that reason. Another negative is their customer service is pretty bad when it comes to, they have an email system, so you send them an email and they respond back. When they were slower, I was able to get a response within a couple days. Now, recently, when I've reached out to them, it took up to 2 weeks to get a response. The other knock on them is their slabs are a little bit flimsy. They're kind of small. They're lightweight. They could break fairly easily. Their turnaround times are pretty good, and they've stayed pretty true to what they're saying All of those are in business days. They have a nice reveal feature that I like. After your cards are graded, and they'll send you an email and say that your grades are available, and you can go through and see the cards and the grades. They're definitely the market share leader. They grade over 1 million cards a month. All right, let's take a look at SGC. They are currently running a special for $9 a card for 2023 Bowman cards. They also offered that service for the Topps base set when that came out. So it looks like they're teamed up with Topps and they're offering discounted grading costs for Topps cards. You can see that their pricing is based on how many cards you're submitting at a time. For 1 to 9 cards, it's $24, and that'll get down to $19, $18 a card if you submit 50 or more cards. SGC as a company overall is very, very solid. They have some of the best return on investments when it comes to vintage cards. They actually have the highest graded card sale of all time. It's this Mickey Mantle card. It sold for $12.5 million sometime last year. And their slabs look really good when it comes to vintage cards. They just fit in there really nice. Their turnaround times are the fastest in the business. They'll get a card and have it in and out of their doors within a couple days and back on their way to your house. Their customer service is top-notch. Every time I've reached out to them, I've gotten a response within an hour. They're really quick to help, and they are very solid when it comes to customer service. Their grades are super accurate. I always pre-grade my cards, and I 100% agree with their grading. They will ding you on centering. That's one thing that PSA seems to be very loose on, is centering. Some of the negatives, though, is their resale value on modern cards are pretty low compared to PSA. But, you know, they're an up-and-coming company, and I feel like they're doing all the right things. Their slabs, to me, are kind of bulky and at the same time not that durable. I have cracked open some of their cards that I was planning on selling and sending to PSA, and their slabs crack right open like very easily. They have been in business for a long time. They started grading cards back in 1998. Up next is CSG. They have multiple services. Their bulk service, there is a 25 card minimum for this service, but it's the cheapest around. It's $12 a card, and you get those back in 20 business days. Their economy service is $15 a card. You get those back in 10 days. Their standard service is $20 a card, and those come back in 7 days. Their express service for $75 are back in 3 days. Their walkthrough and their unlimited walkthrough, they're $200 and $1,000. Those come back in 3 business days as well. So full transparency, I've never graded with CSG, so I can't speak from personal experiences. But some of the positives, I do own a few of their cards, is they have a nice quality slab. I own some of the older slabs and some of the newer slabs. You could see here in the picture of the Mike Trout card that's their old design. A lot of people didn't like it. The hobby kind of rejected that. They offered subgrades then. They no longer offer them now. So they changed their whole design and their grading scale. They don't have a pristine grade anymore. They just have a 10 gem mint. And the picture here of the Tom Brady is what their new slabs look like. I think they do look much better. They're very cheap to grade, and their turnaround times are lightning fast. Some of the negatives is they are new to grading sports cards, and their resale values are pretty low due to that reason. I think that they, of anybody, are probably going to be the next ones to compete with some of the bigger companies. And we'll see. Time will tell. Like I said, I haven't graded with them, so I'm considering sending them an order of a few cards just to see how everything turns out. The company has been around since 2005. They're part of Certified Collectors Group, but they started grading sports cards at the end of 2020. All right, last up, we have HGA. They have 4 different services. The fastest service is their 2-day service for $60 a card if you're a platinum member. They also have a gold membership, and it's $70 a card for that 2-day service and $75 a card for no membership. Their membership, I know the platinum is $99 a year. I'm not sure how much the gold is. For their 10-day service, you can see the prices there. $40 per card for platinum, $45 for gold, and $50 for no membership. They have a 30-day service and a 60-day service. Those are all in business days. It's their cheapest option is $15 a card if you pay for the membership. Without the membership, it's $19 a card. HGA does offer custom labels for $10 per card, and something else that they offer that no one else does is horizontal slabs, and that'll cost you an extra $5 a card. So let's take a look at some of what HGA offers. They offer label designs. You could customize the labels, like the one here showing the Wander Franco. It does cost an extra $10. You could draw them a sketch. You could give them a description. This one was just to match the card, and that's what they came up with. They're horizontal slabs. See the picture here of Bo Jackson. They put it in a horizontal slab. As far as I know, nobody else offers that. Their slabs are very durable. They're very clear. They're very nice. When you hold them, they feel high quality. And they offer subgrades at no extra cost. Some of the negatives are their resale values are not that high. They have a questionable grading scale. It's different than BGS, which kind of set the standards when it came to averaging the grades out. But you could see what they do on their website as far as they have a calculator, so you could determine what your grade will be with the subgrades given. The market doesn't seem, they either love them or hate them. I tend to like the look of the cards, and when I'm grading for PC stuff, I like to use them for stuff in my personal collection. They got started during the COVID boom in 2021, and they started out really hot. Their 9.5 gem mint cards were comparable to PSA 10s, and then they started going downhill when they couldn't meet their guaranteed turnaround times, and they graded a couple of fake cards. It kind of put a halt on their growth, and now they're grading about roughly 1,200 cards a week. So all 5 companies go off of a 1 through 10 point grading scale, and it's very consistent 1 through 9, 9 being a mint card, but it starts to get a little confusing after a 9. Every company is a little bit different. You can see PSA has no mint plus grade. They just have a 9 for mint and a 10 for gem mint, and nothing higher than that. HGA has a 9, and then it goes to a 9.5 for a gem mint, and they have a pristine, and they even go one step higher and go to a flawless. Very similar to HGA. BGS also has the same grading scale, and their black label is considered the highest level you can receive, and that is going to be by far the highest dollar amount you're going to get for a card. It's the most valuable, and it's also the hardest to get. CSG, they go from 9 mint to 9.5 mint plus to a gem mint 10, and they have a 10 perfect. SGC is a 9.5 mint plus as well. They have a 10 gem mint and a 10 pristine. So who are you going to grade with? At the end of the day, you should send your cards to whoever you want to send them to that meet your collecting needs. If it's a card you want to keep, choose the labels you like the most. If it's a card you're planning on selling, you pretty much have to go with PSA. They have by far the best resale values. Me personally, I grade with HGA for personal, and I grade with PSA for stuff I'm planning on selling. Anyways, have a great day. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.